That's right, guys, it is finally out. The Playmates Toho series Godzilla Singular Point Godzilla Ultima. I was lucky enough to find this figure at Target alongside the Playmates Godzilla Terrestris, but we'll talk about him in a different review. But anyways, let us get right into this review. Also, if you guys are wondering why the setting looks different, yes, I'm filming this from a hotel room. And I also realized that there is no other review for this figure out just yet, and so I thought I should get on the bandwagon, and anyways, here we are. But this figure does look absolutely amazing. It's not perfect, and I'll get into that later, but I do want to talk about the absolutely amazing detail that there is on this figure. I do love the way that the body looks, as well as like just all the scaly detail that we have. Yes, it gets lost in the mold in some areas, but it's not a big deal because this is not SH Monster Arts. This is a kid's toy, but it is a very nicely detailed kid's toy, if I do say so myself. The paint job is pretty good for what it is. It's not perfect in some areas. It kind of is a little bit sloppy. For example, just kind of like in the head right here, it's just kind of everywhere. The tail and like the dorsal spines, like the paint's fine there, but there are some areas where it is slightly chipped, like kind of on this claw right there at the bottom. But honestly, everything else is pretty good. The eyes are okay. They're decently painted, not perfect, but okay. The mouth is painted in this nice red color. I do like how they painted the kind of red branchy looking areas on dorsal spines, and that does look very nice. And the paint throughout the dorsal spines, all the way through the tail, which is actually really impressive. That usually is something we never really see on, Bandai Movie Monster series, which Playmates seems to do a better job with. Is pretty crazy to me. But overall, this figure does look very, very nice. Now, it is pre-posed, which means that posing this is not really the most viable option. So you can't really get any dynamic poses out of it, but it is possible. We do have a swivel at the head, so we can go all the way around like so. The arms can move, but not all the way around unless you force them. And so they can do that, but the thighs are just really big, and you can't really do much with that. And the arms do move on both sides, technically all the way around, but not all the way. The legs, we do have a kind of a swivel in this area, but it is kind of stiff because it stops in certain areas, and we do get that on both sides, so that is pretty good. And finally, the tail is on a joint right here. The tail did come detached in the box, so you do have to pop that on, and it's not difficult to really do so. You just gotta kind of use some force to get it in there. Maybe use a hair dryer if it's too hard for you to get it in, but it does swivel all the way around. And one cool thing is, if you do like kind of lay it down, you do kind of get that long tail look. So the tail might actually be accurate length to the series, which is very nice. But overall, the silhouette of this figure and the articulation that it has is very, very nice. The paint is decently applied, in my opinion. One thing I do want to mention is I do like how there's like this kind of dark fade along this area that does add for some nice accent. And another thing is while there may not be any dry brushing or anything like that on this figure, the shadow does help with that greatly. So it's kind of just that illusion of added detail, which I actually really do appreciate. But yeah, so overall, this figure is really, really good in my opinion. I picked this up for around 12 to 13 bucks, and you could probably find this at Target for around the same price. But anyways, guys, that is really much about it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.